My name's Guy Kestevan. I've been a professional bike and kit tester for over 25 years, and today I'm riding the seriously radical, but superbly rideable and surprisingly versatile Merida 160 8000. So, actually first run in, but already that max grip wasn't so great coming up the hill, but lovely security coming down here now, and already feeling really smooth and supple. Yes, really responsive. Thought it might be a bit muted with a flex day on the back, but that's feeling good. And actually, because the bar's low, it doesn't actually feel as crazy long as it actually is. Because this long is nearly 500 mil. I know I could easily get away with the medium, which is 470, but because the back end's relatively short, 438 on this 29er. Oh, I landed that nicely. When you got top spec rock shocked, hey, little pop, little rise up. Where was I? Top spec rock shocked ultimate super deluxe damper, like I say, and then that big old 170mm Zeb on the front, taking the hits that I can't dodge through there. But yeah, I have to say, I am glad that that's the guy through there. And the fact you've got 64-degree head angle at the end of that long reach, really helping with confidence and stability when I'm trying to follow serious motocross and enduro guys down here. Yes, it's basically, for a first run, it just feels really friendly and forgiving. It's definitely got kind of specialised stomp jumper Evo vibes. Paul's pulling there. Nice one, Merida. Okay, second run in. This is a slight modification. It's a bit tweakier and turnier lower down. So, before you ask, no, I'm not going to tell you where we are. If you know, you know, and you're lucky. Oh, lovely little float and pop there. I can tell you that was not me. I'm not a floater and popper. This, yeah, like I say, going back to that stumpy Evo comparison, it's not the stiffest bike by a long shot, but certainly not dull and kind of overdamped like the Hope I rode the other month. There we go. Oh, and because it's got that kind of ductility, you can really feel the extra traction. Oi! Thanks for the Zeb. A little bit of compliance and smoothness added to the fact it's got double D tyres, front and rear, so I'm running them at nice low pressures, 16 at the front, 18 at the rear, because this isn't rocky. Whole bike's just really damped and glued down. Hey! And it's that classic Assegai DH combo. Wait! Hey! Keeping me biting through there. Well, Paul is surfing a little bit more. Way! Al said this might be sloppy. Commit to the right, Kersey, yes! It just makes that kind of thing easy again. Bottom bracket isn't that low statically, but it like rides low. So, oh, bundle that. Can't concentrate on either on your riding or what you're saying. Just wind it up again. So, and even with that big 200mm rotor, because both the anti-squat and the anti-dive and the anti-ride drop off deeper in the stroke, tapping that rear brake doesn't sit it too high. So, you know, it just, what I'm trying to say is, just feels really planted and safe. A really easy bike, even when grip is against you. Shazam!
That was good.
Probably got that on camera, didn't you?
Absolutely. And because that anti-squat is higher at the top of the stroke, you're getting slightly more stable pedaling as well. So, you know, yes, I'd reach into that Super Deluxe and put the lockout lever on for road climb, but for just gently spooling up somewhere like here, it's absolutely fine. And then you've got all the low speed adjustment on the shock anyway. But one thing never ceases to amaze me is how good super steep seat angles always feel. In 79 degrees, it's got to be the steepest I've tested since I used to do triathlon bikes alongside mountain bikes. Yeah, it feels absolutely bang on. Really good poise and posture. Feels like you're driving back into the bike. So, and again, that flex day doesn't feel, you know, although it feels supple on the descents, doesn't feel too bouncy or willowy on the climbs, though it's definitely softer than something like a high tower or a other stiffer back end frames like the Yetis. But still, again, it's friendly, but with some spring and life to it. It's not a completely kind of inert mini downhill bike feel. Don't think it's going to blow any comms away, even though relatively light, but certainly going to be fine, comfortable and efficient enough to ride all day if you want, whether that's sessioning steeps or you know, doing a longer trail style ride. And like most Meridas, this is really good value as well. So you got SRAM GX axis. I mean, it's the older axis on this bike, but it's a UDH hanger. So, woo, got a kick then. So it's fully Eagle transmission compatible. Got XT brakes on there. So I always think it's a bit weird mixing XT and Shimano, but it's really common. So, sorry, making Shimano brakes and SRAM gears, but you know, it's a common thing. And then you've got those ultimate Z forks and race face wheels. Only alloy, but they're decent width, 30mm, and a good solid wheel. And tyre spec is absolutely cock on. So many brands do a big enduro bike and then miss out, put lightweight tyres on and really undermine that, well, that ability to run below pressures, and also just makes it more likely to puncture or just push a tyre. Having these DDs on there, really, it's like running steel toe cap boots at work. You just don't worry as much. And then if you want to go really fancy on suspension, the 9K bike gets flight attendant, RockShox fully automatic setup, or you can get an SLX equipped version with RockShox Select Plus on the 6000 for £4,500. And one neat component you get is this Merida's own adjustable dropper post. It's got this little kind of winding spool thing that lets you put the stroke out to as far as 230 mil if you want. And because you've got short head tubes, you can actually size up and go even longer if you want on these bikes. That's the whole reason Merida did it. But to compensate for that, which is quite neat. Oh yes, this is the content everybody wanted.
That's what you get for trying to dodge the puddle.
Yeah, mate.
I don't think I can.
Lovely and relaxing.
I'll lift my bike once I've got a photo.
Yeah.
Feet up. Feet up.
Reclining. Maxing and relaxing with Alex Rafferty. Just wait for Al to sort himself out. So where was I? So that's why these long and extra long bikes actually have a 30 mil riser, whereas the extra short and mid-length bikes have a 50 mil low riser. And if you didn't quite get what I was saying there, they do size them on length, so it is short or long, it's not small or large, which is quite a cute way of doing it. Although, you know, to be fair, there's no actual difference in the way they run the proportions, but it does mean, going back to my original point, it's an easy bike to size up if you want it super long. And while the geometry doesn't change in terms of the angles or the frame, you do get 27.5 mullet wheels on extra short through mid, and that effectively makes the rear chainstay length shorter, and it also gives you more travel on the back, so getting 172 mil rather than 161. Can't even remember what I was going to say now, but what I do know is this is a proper death run. I always get this very badly wrong and I always end up in my arse, you know, bit of positive thinking there. So it's going to be really interesting to see just how forgiving and skill multiplying this 160 is. Oh, that was another thing I can mention, yeah. Although this is the 160, the same frame is also used for the 140. So if you find yourself, a bit like that school bike I reviewed a couple of weeks ago, if you find yourself wanting less travel, you can actually just change the shock. I think get different linkage as well, obviously different fork, or just change the travel in your fork, and then you've got a you know, a little mid-travel hardcore bike. So this is the bit. You're filling me with confidence there, mate. And that's part of the reason Merida can make this bike such good value, is because there's a lot of commonality of parts. And also, you know, you always have to say when you're reviewing Merida that they're one of the world's biggest bike manufacturers, so you know, they get massive economies of scale as well. But it also means they're really good at making bikes. You know, their technology level is really high, so you're getting a really good warranty on this bike as well. It's just a great all-round feel to it. So, summary run now. Oh, hello. Hang on. That's better. Still had the lockout on from the road climb. That's not going to do me any favours. But yeah, kind of. You know, it hasn't done anything to upset first impressions, which is just a really friendly, lively, but very confident. Oh, sliding that front tyre there. You know, but again, no drama when that's happening. Just part of the playtime, isn't it? And it's not like, ooh, that's a bit worrying. And again, I think that's kind of a component of the fact it's not crazy sharp and like hyper stiff. So you have got a little bit of that compliance and almost built-in relaxation to this bike. And again, you know, you can slide that back end round without it jacking up too much. Even though I'm no jumper, it's fine just popping and dropping. Long enough to just let the nose swing round there. You know, if you're wanting mega, well, if you're wanting any geometry adjustment, it's not the bike for you. And that internal storage is not the easiest to use. It's definitely, you know, stop and get it out, and I wouldn't trust it with a lot of candle sausage rolls. So, you know, against something like Stumpy Evo, it's not as versatile in that sense. But otherwise, a ride is very similar, and it's definitely got a value on its side. And yeah, again, I've not had to do anything specific with setup. There's no drama with the dampers or anything like that, although obviously on this version you have got full high and low speed compression. What I've done is actually opened it up pretty much fully, because there is that smoothness in the frame, so it doesn't get too wild, just skims and skips like you saw there. Way, nice little send again. It's just a bike that is really comfortable for riding things that would often be on the limit of my skills, but without making it dull.
Like hit it a couple of times.
Cracking job.
Nice.
Cheers, gents.
Oh, bang on that.
Yeah.
So there you go, Merida 160 8000. Just a really sorted, friendly, forgiving bike that makes riding even the most difficult trails really easy. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Really good geometry, really good suspension. You know, full wireless gear set on this as well. So all your mod cons at a top value price, plus that bonus ability to take it down to 140 mil if you want a mid-travel bike out of it. So massive thanks to Merida for lending me the bike. Thanks to Giro Cycling UK for sponsoring the channel alongside PE's Crud XL fenders, which has certainly been massively useful today in the slop and slide. And to Hebtro Co and Talk Nutrition as well, I've been on their caffeine drink today, which has really helped me keep me going. I don't often do a blatant plug for those guys, but you know, I was out for a long one last night, so it's been a real help having a bit of an extra boost with their cola drink today. But also massive thanks to my Patreon subscribers who pledge a amount every month, which really helps support the channel, lets me spend more time talking to you about bikes into a GoPro. But so does you subscribing, clicking for notifications, and giving this a thumbs up like and telling your mates about the channel. Because if you've got this far, then hopefully they'll enjoy it as well. But for now, I've been Guy Kestevan on Guy Kes TV, having an absolute barrel of laughs, sliding around on the spring trails, on Meridas, totally sorted, 160 8000.